Now, we haven't had you both together for a while, so while you're both here, we noticed you've been talking a lot. Do you miss him? ¿Te extraña o no? Es la pregunta.
¿Para él o para mí?
No, tú a él.
Quieres los dos,
Sí.
okay.
When the summer of 2026 rolls around, we are going to witness something no male soccer player has ever achieved. Lionel Messi and Cristiano Ronaldo are both lacing up for their 6th World Cup. Over the last 20 years, these two have shattered nearly every record in the sport, defining an entire generation of football. Yet in all that time, across 5 previous tournaments, they have never played against each other on this stage. Because they've been drawn into different groups this time, Argentina in Group J and Portugal in Group K, fans and media are already sketching out a fairy tale ending. The popular assumption is that if they both win out, they'll inevitably meet in the World Cup final in New Jersey on July 19th. But that dream scenario ignores how this specific tournament actually works. The transition to an expanded 48-team format completely rewrites the traditional rules of bracket progression. Hoping for a final between these two legends relies entirely on an outdated logic. The reality is that the new knockout structure has engineered a much earlier, unavoidable collision. This animation shows the new tournament layout, starting with 12 distinct groups that collapse into a massive 32-team knockout stage. Under this system, finishing first in your group no longer guarantees that you'll be placed on opposite halves of the draw. If Argentina wins Group J and Portugal wins Group K, their reward isn't separation. Instead, the new format funnels the winners of these two specific groups inward, toward the exact same quadrant of the draw. Assuming both teams survive the round of 32 and the round of 16, their pathways crash together right here, at the quarterfinal node. That sets up match 100 on the official FIFA schedule, a guaranteed head-to-head clash on July 11th in Kansas City. A logistical quirk of the bracket has effectively pulled the ultimate matchup forward. For this generation of football, the quarterfinal will be the de facto final. If we look strictly at history, one player holds a commanding advantage on the World Cup stage. Lionel Messi has played a record 26 matches in the tournament and is the only player to win the Golden Ball twice. This bar chart maps Messi's 6 career knockout stage goals against Argentina's progression through the 2022 tournament. It highlights his unmatched run, where he scored in every single elimination round, all the way to lifting the trophy. Cristiano Ronaldo's resume looks very different. Despite finding the back of the net in 5 consecutive World Cups, he has recorded 0 goals or assists in the knockout stages of his entire career. Given that massive statistical gap, most analysts look at a potential matchup and immediately crown Argentina as the heavy favorite on paper. But leaning entirely on historical statistics is a critical analytical trap. The specific Argentina squad that enabled those 2022 numbers no longer exists. The 2022 World Cup winning team operated as a highly specialized bodyguard unit. Every player around Messi was tasked with pressing opponents and covering defensive spaces, allowing him to conserve energy for offensive magic. 4 years later, that same structure has become a liability. The supporting cast has aged past their athletic prime, and Messi himself requires even more physical protection than he did in Qatar. Contrast that with the modern Portuguese squad. The roster arriving in North America is widely considered the deepest and most athletic collection of talent in their nation's history. They have moved away from an offense that relies entirely on one player. With elite rotational depth in the midfield, Portugal can attack through the air, on the counter, or by dominating possession. Argentina remains tied to a rigid, aging system built to maximize a single man. Portugal has evolved into an adaptable, multi-threat machine, one perfectly engineered to exploit tired legs. And tired legs will be the defining factor of this tournament, thanks to an invisible enemy, extreme geographical travel across the North American continent. This map illustrates the staggering travel disparity between the two nations. Portugal's potential pathway requires them to travel up to 14,000 kilometers, almost double the projected distance of Argentina's localized route. This extreme travel load, combined with a 32-team knockout stage, turns the latter half of the tournament into a war of attrition, where physical recovery is severely compromised between matches. To survive a logistical gauntlet of this scale, teams need the luxury of deep squad rotation. It's a resource Portugal has in abundance, and one Argentina currently lacks. The brutal math and travel schedules of the 2026 World Cup have finally given us the ultimate Messi versus Ronaldo showdown. But those exact same conditions overwhelmingly favor Portugal's depth to close the final chapter on Lionel Messi's World Cup career.